The secret's out about Dalton, Georgia. So much talent down here. Omar's just one of many that we feel the future of the Red Wolves can be built on.
Here we go.
Yo, welcome back to Stan Leone Boys. It's your boy Griffin, and today we're here with a couple guests. Starting at the end over there, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm back again. This is Juan Azua from Monday Night Football. You know, Griffin asked me during the week, hey, we're going to interview a couple of Chattanooga Red Wolves people. I don't know much about soccer. Do you want to come on the show and help us out? I'm like, sure. So here we are. We got Mr. Sean. He is the GM for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. We'll let him introduce himself in a second. Then we also have Omar Hernandez, a local product from Dalton High, and we'll discuss his little history here in a second. But let's go ahead and have Sean and them introduce themselves.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. My name is Sean McDaniel. I'm the general manager and president of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, and thrilled to be down here in Dalton tonight.
Omar, what you got to say?
My name is Omar Hernandez, new Chattanooga Red Wolves soccer player that just signed. Super excited to start.
All right. I guess, Omar, we'll start with a little bit of history with you, man. Like, when did you start playing soccer? When did you find the love for soccer?
My whole family plays soccer, but my dad introduced it to me, and I think for me, the moment I can think of is probably 2 years old.
2 years old?
Started kicking the soccer ball.
Oh, dang.
And let's come on. Omar's not giving himself enough credit. This is let's just go back to his little history here. So this is a former CFC Academy player, former Atlanta United Youth Academy player, two-time state champ at Dalton High School. If I'm not mistaken, he was two-time Gatorade High School Player of the Year in the state of Georgia. Senior year, he was National Gatorade Player of the Year in Georgia. Went on to get a 4-year scholarship to the University of Wake Forest, ACC school. Scored a banger in the playoffs his freshman year. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, look at it. And then he got a 5th year, went to Mercer, and now he's signed a professional contract with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. So that is Omar Hernandez. If you don't know who Omar Hernandez is, now you do. So Griffin, now you can go in. I just want to this is like, this is big time here.
Yeah, no, that on a resume right there. God. But yeah, so then I guess as far as like signing to a club, like what made you decide to go with the Red Wolves?
For me, it was a no-brainer. I know a lot of people in the organization. They know me, and we've had contacts back and forth. And it's a city I like playing. I grew up. I played in the academy. Sean, I know him. Played with his son.
Okay.
And we've just been back and forth contacts. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right, Sean. What made you gravitate towards Omar?
Well, just the resume, certainly, right? And, if there's anything we know about the city of Dalton, it produces soccer talent. And, if I put on my GM hat as the Red Wolves general manager, we're looking for professional soccer players that are going to win a trophy for us. That's important. That's a big deal for us. So, the fact that Omar's from Dalton was an added benefit, but he's a good footballer. And when you look at for how we build the team, our coach, Scott McKenzie, who unfortunately is not here quite yet, when we put the roster together, we look for not just certain talent, but personalities. And, does it fit the culture of the club and the city? And, certainly for myself, personally, I've watched Omar. We've watched Omar for years. His youth coaches, Danny McBride, Jimmy Weekly. It's a close-knit family of people. So as we watch Omar develop as a player, and not just Omar, there's been a couple, Yair Paez, Christian Zaragoza. There's a few Dalton players that we've scouted through the years. Omar fit the box, so to speak, and we're pleased to have him finally play professional soccer for us.
And how does it feel to know that you have this hotbed of soccer talent in your backyard? Obviously, Chattanooga metropolitan area there's good schools. You have Baylor, McCallie, you have kids that come there. But then come here, Whitfield County, as we're calling ourselves now, Soccer Town USA, and you have all these state champs, all this local talent. Like, does it make it easier for you guys to try to pick who you want for your academies and who you're trying to eye to eventually to come up to the pro level?
Well, you know what the problem now is everybody knows about Dalton. You know, before just a couple years ago, nobody knew about Dalton.
And New York Times had to write that article.
Yeah, thanks for that. So it makes it a little more challenging because everybody knows about Dalton and the players that come out of here. But I think even more important than just the talent is the quality of the person, right? We aren't just professional soccer players. We're looking for people that represent this area, this region well, publicly, in front of thousands of fans. And that's equal to the soccer talent. So, yeah, we love that we have it right here, literally in our backyard. We just hate that everybody else knows about it now.
And Omar, as far as you, like how Sean was saying that there is a lot of players from Dalton in the Red Wolves. Do you think that's going to help you out, like in the season coming up, like having people that you've seen around or like grew up with, playing with?
Yeah, I mean, it will definitely make the transition easier. I'll be more at home, more comfortable to be myself, to express myself. And like I said, I mean, it just make everything easier to be.
Right. And do you think, which you mentioned a couple of colleges that you went to and everything, Mercer and Wake Forest and all that. Do you think coming to the Red Wolves is going to be like a different, whole different beast from playing college to professional?
I mean, luckily at Wake Forest, it was very professional environment. So I was able to see how that was because they get a lot of academy players, academy products. But even so, the transition to professional, it's a different ballgame. So I think I will maybe struggle a couple of days, but at the same time, I think I'll fit just right in.
So you just mentioned the transition. So let's go back and discuss your transition. Obviously, you played at a local powerhouse, Dalton High. You should have won 3 state titles. One was taken away by COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So we won't talk about that. But let's just talk about the skill level that you had playing at Dalton High. Obviously, you were still playing club, but then with the level of talent that you played at Dalton High, was that easy to transition when you went to Wake Forest and then obviously transferred over to Mercer?
It definitely helped because everybody here is pretty talented. But even at Wake Forest, different level. I had to adjust fast. I mean, the speed of the game was faster. Everybody was more technical. They knew the game better. I mean, like I said, they all came from MLS Academy, so they knew that environment already. Me having some connection with Atlanta United also helped me, but I wasn't fully there, so I had to adjust quick.
So how long did the adjustment period take for you, like transitioning from high school ball to college, like D1, very competitive ACC conference? How did that help you? Like, how long was the adjustment period for you? Was it like, okay, my freshman year, I wasn't really comfortable. I didn't really feel comfortable on sophomore. When did you really feel like, I finally feel comfortable. I finally feel like I can play at this level week in and week out?
For me, I knew right about the mid-season of my freshman year. I mean, luckily for us, we were able to come in a month early in the summer, so I was able to do a bunch of pickups with the guys, get used to the speed of play. But about mid-season of freshman year, I was like, if I could just be myself and learn the game faster, just do much things faster, then I could compete with the guys. And then sophomore year, I think I just exploded off. I think my stock kind of grew in there, was starting some games, starting not some games, but it definitely was a big transition.
If I'm not mistaken, I think your sophomore year, you scored a couple of bangers. I know your coach Wicks is here from your high school, and we were out one time, and he's like, "Oh man, do you see the goal Omar scored? It was a beautiful free kick." So I know you started scoring some bangers. What else, Griff?
Oh no, I was going to ask, how is it being the Gatorade Player of the Year? And then you said it was 2 years,
so he
back
won
to back.
He won Georgia High School 2 years, right?
3.
3, and then his senior year he won National Gatorade Player of the Year.
How was that? Like, how was that being Gatorade Player of the Year?
I mean, something I never expected, to be honest. I mean, I'm a small kid from a local town of Dalton. Not much is publicized about Dalton and the talent here in soccer.
Yeah.
So wasn't really expecting it, but at the same time, it was very surreal. Excuse me. Very surreal and just excited.
Yeah, because I saw on your Instagram you had posted a couple pictures that you met like some legends,
Mm-hmm.
and Peyton Manning was one of them. How was that experience meeting high paid athletes in there?
That environment is cool to see. Definitely me being a soccer player and wanting to be in that position.
Right.
It just opened my eyes, and I was like, if I really want to take this to the next level, then I have to take a step back and just work harder.
Sean, obviously you signed Omar. This is his first professional contract with obviously straight out of college. What are the expectations for Omar, and what is the realistic expectations that you've laid out to Omar? Hey, look, because obviously you guys bring players in from all over California, all over the U.S., even from Central America, Latin America. So what are the expectations for Omar in the next 2 to 5 years and for the Chattanooga Red Wolves?
Well, Omar asked that same question to me before we signed him. What's the expectation? And I told him we expect him to be in the starting 11. That's why he was signed. Again, Omar already alluded to it as you continue climbing the ladder, right? High profile youth career, high profile high school, high profile college. Now you're in a professional environment where, again, the speed of play, it's just different. Everybody's good at this level. Everybody's good. We have national team players. We have players who have played professionally for a long time. So there's competition within the team. But at the end of the day, scoring goals, assisting goals, and keeping the goals out of our net is how players are measured. And Omar wasn't signed just blindly. He was scouted and recruited by us for a reason. And I expect him to be in the 11, and just like I would expect anybody with the resume that he's had up to this point.
And Omar, what have they talked about a specific position? Where are they looking to slot you in on the field? Like, are you looking to be a holding mid, attacking mid, left side, right side? What is it? What are those discussions been like?
Talking to Scott, talking to Sean. Most of the position have been midfield, anywhere 6, 8, 10, and excuse me, and out wide as well. I can play out wide.
Do you feel is your best position? Where do you feel like you're most comfortable? Obviously, I've seen you play all over the field. Like you said, you played wide left, mid, 10. So where do you feel like you can contribute the most?
For me, I like playing as a 10, attacking midfielder. That's where I feel like I can contribute the most.
Is that where you see him at, Sean, or?
Yeah, I think one of the things, again, a benefit for Omar is his versatility. So each game's different. We have teams we'll play against that will sit back in behind us, and if they do that, we may use Omar differently than opposed to a team that might be trying to put us on our back foot. Omar's left foot is strong, yep. And that secret will be out quickly as well. So when you look at restarts and services, we're also anticipating success from that as well.
And Omar, do you got any specific role models you look into for soccer idols that you strive to be like?
You could say Messi, Cristiano, obviously them. A player that doesn't really get much recognition that I follow a lot is Mesut Ozil.
Oh, Mesut, yeah. Loved him when he played at Real Madrid. German player, yeah.
His ability to control the ball, pass the ball, find players, just everything about him, I really fell in love with his game.
What about a Luka Modric? You don't.
Luka Modric. You got all the superstars, but I like to.
So Mesut's a very good. He's very sublime. Makes everything looks easy. Like you see him, he's not laboring. He just lets the ball flow to him and gives out easy passes to his teammates. So how do you feel about that comparison that he like Mesut, Sean?
Yeah, I think that's fair, especially as we look to use Omar and other players. We have different systems we play for different teams, and again, at the end of the day, it's did we score one more goal than the other team, and that's really how we measure our success.
And then as far as playing since you've already had pretty high caliber games and everything, do you have any kind of superstitions or any kind of rituals you do before the game starts?
No, not really. I just like to lay back, listen to music, be relaxed. Every once in a while, watch a couple of soccer videos on YouTube.
So you don't play with your shoes untied like Maradona or anything? And there is a local guy here. You may know him, Kobe Perez. If I'm not mistaken, Kobe doesn't tie his shoelaces, a la Maradona. So no superstitions like that at all.
No,
No, like Chattanooga Cinco that has to eat McDonald's before a game or something like that. All right. So
No, I just like to keep it simple.
Simple. Well, so I know you're real big with family. Obviously, I see your mom, your dad. You have your sister here. You talked about your dad pulling you into the game at 2. Like, I'm assuming your dad played in the Mexican League we call it the Mexican League back in the day.
Yep.
So who did your dad play with? Like, who did you see him growing up playing with?
Just a bunch of family members. It was a whole family team.
Was he playing for Zacatecas or he didn't play for Zacatecas?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
He played for Zacatecas. Just a bunch of family members kept it close, but nobody too well known or any of that.
But see, if you don't know about this, his family line of soccer players goes very deep. Like he's got cousins that that went on to play at the collegiate level. Like he's got Cholo. He's got they're all family members somehow, and they're all from a little town in Zacatecas. If I'm not mistaken, it's a little town called. It's not even a town. It's a rancho, man. I've been there once in my life. It's called Jalpa because one of my uncles, my aunt was married to this guy, my ex-uncle. He's still my uncle, but I went and I spent a month in this town or this rancho, Jalpa. Have you ever been to Jalpa?
I have, yes, I have.
What do you think about Jalpa?
I mean, just like you explained, it's just a small little town. Not even a town; it's a rancho.
And they have
everybody knows each other.
And they have that big rivalry with Ojitos, right?
Yep. No, right next door.
Next door. It's like the blood and the Crips, but not blood of the Crips. Right. It's like the Hatfield McCoys. People from Jalpa don't mingle with the people from Ojitos. They don't like each other.
And they bring it over here too.
No, I think once they come over here, I think they all become friends. But over there, no, it's literally a dirt road that separates somebody, like a mile and a half dirt road. That's all that separates those two ranches. Sean, so what are your expectations going into this season? Obviously, the Red Wolves about to kick off. Y'all either in preseason or is this y'all's off season right now?
Preseason starts February 1st, so we're within weeks of beginning. Last year was a tough year for us. It was not. We did not meet the expectations that we have for ourselves as a club, and it is a soccer business. And we released many players. We only brought back 5. So to rebuild is probably an understatement for us, but Scott McKenzie is the head coach, and he was able to come in at the latter part of the season and take over for our previous head coach, and I think that's making a difference. There's 2 seasons within the season with the league we play in, USL League One. You have a regular season. It's just what it is, a regular season, playoffs, and a championship, but you also have a cup season. So the Red Wolves have 2 opportunities to win something in 2024. But we have to win from the beginning. This isn't it's a long season, but there's not a long time to have success. Right. So we've built what I think is probably the best roster we've ever had. And not just with Omar, but with others. And I expect that fans will come out and see some very entertaining soccer from the beginning.
So you mentioned preseason starts February 1st. When is the first official game? Obviously, y'all building that gem of a stadium right there in Eastridge. The owners from Park City are putting in a lot of money to build that whole complex here. So when is the first game? Let people know. And so we can try to come out there and support you guys.
The first home game is March 30th. We play, I forget who we play, but it's at home. But and we have 15 home matches this year. And to your point, the stadium is being built right before our eyes. Grass is being put down on the surface we're replacing the synthetic turf. But if you've ever been to a Red Wolves game, it's a spectacle. I mean, it's like a rock concert, but with a soccer ball. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and I have a couple of family members that attend your games. They're always in the corner throwing the little smoke bombs or whatever when that score goes. So yeah, they're very involved up there. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier too, just to touch on it real quick. You said you only brought back 5 players from the previous season. Is that something that happens regularly, or is that just something?
Well, when you lose, it's definitely something that happens. I mean, it is. Again, we're trying to win, and it's if we're not winning, then again we have to make changes, and we did. And people will see that this season. The players we did bring back, we think will help us be successful. Our 2 leading scorers return. Ropapa Mensah from Ghana and Siobhan Marsh from Jamaica returned. Between the two of them, they had 24 goals. And then we replaced our goalkeeping, our defenders. Everything's an overhaul, and we feel like we've done it well.
And so, Omar, we know that you've grown up, soccer has been the love, but now it's still changed that soccer is going to be your love. But now you got to change the mentality because now it's really becomes a business. You become part of a business entity.
And it's your job.
And now it's your job to go in and be able to perform week in and week out. Is there added pressure on you, or how do you feel about it? Like now, like if I don't perform, I may not be here next year. I may be looking for another club. So how does that feel, or have you not even thought about that yet?
I mean, it's definitely added pressure. I mean, it's a business, like you said. So you just got to go out there and perform the best you can. I mean, do what you can, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to the coaches who start, who plays. But I feel like I haven't really thought about it much. Just going to do my best and try to help the team win.
And coming into the Red Wolves now, and like there is a couple people from Dalton, like in other clubs that you go against. Is there like anybody specific or like a specific team you're looking forward to like play against in this season?
No, I don't really think about stuff like that. I mean, just whoever's we're playing that week, then do my scouting report, do the coach's scouting report, just try to get as much film as we can and just take it game by game.
How does it feel to have so much support? Like literally, you have former players here. You have Tony Saldana here. You have your former mates. You have Mr. Georgia Southern over here on his cell phone because he's talking to a girl. I mean, let's go. How does it feel to have all this support here from people that you've grown up with?
I mean, you definitely feel the love from everybody, from the community, from the friends, from my close friends that I grew up with. It's just something that we kept with each other that we're going to try to be our best. I mean, obviously, we all know what Dalton is, what our families go through the day by day. So we're just trying to do our best and try to come something out of it.
And I want to touch back a little bit because I know this is going back to your high school. So I know your senior year, there was a possibility that you weren't going to play with your team because you were playing with Dalton. You'd already been playing for Atlanta United Academy for pretty much the first part of your senior year.
Yep, I did.
And then something happened because I remember talking to Wicks and he's like, Wicks, are you going to have Omar? Well, we don't know. He's down there. I don't think we're going to get him. What happened? Like, what made you decide, like, you know what, I want to play my last year? And obviously you guys went out on the state championship. But what made you decide, like, you know what, I want to play with the guys that I've grown up with my whole life and see if we can bring another championship?
For me, I mean, prior to that, I was already committed to Wake Forest. The Atlanta part was another great experience for me. But at the same time, I always had that little edge where I was like, I want to do it with my boys. I want to finish with them my last season. And that's what ultimately came up. I was just like, I want to finish with them, go out on a bang, which luckily we did, and just be able to have that last season, last year, senior year, just enjoy it with them.
Sean, how do you look at that? So I feel like the soccer here in Whitfield, Northwest Georgia, Dalton area specifically is a little bit different where we have kids that are playing club ball with different clubs in the area, but they have that pull to want to go play high school ball and like win a championship or try to win a championship with their high school team, which I feel like in the Atlanta area, if you're playing club ball, you really are not wanting to play high school ball with your high school because probably the caliber of talent is not that level. Do you see that as different here, or are we the norm, or are we not the norm?
Well, I think the market sizes dictate a little bit of that. My own son chooses to play high school soccer versus playing academy soccer year round. And I think if you're not malleable, if you don't adjust with what the players want to do, then you're not going to succeed. So in this market here, Chattanooga, the region, kids want to play high school soccer. And for what he just said, I mean, these are their friends, and it's actually a good level. And clearly it hasn't hurt his development as a player. And so we as general managers, as coaches, as we scout, we just it's okay if you didn't play year-round academy football. It's okay. I think the other thing to just remember about that too, when you're getting to the professional level, you're looking at specific to what's going to help your team. So we're looking at guys that it doesn't matter where they play. Do they possess the characteristics the way our coach wants to play, the way we want to succeed on the field? So whether it's in high school soccer or academy soccer is almost irrelevant. And look, a kid should play where he wants to play and be happy with it. And we'll work it out from there.
So Omar, you looking now, you signed your professional contract. You're just a humble young lad from Dalton, and now you're going on to the professional level. What do you say to the kids now that look up to you? Because obviously there are kids that look up to you. There are kids that have been following you since you were at Dalton High and at the Atlanta United Academy. How does it, like, what is your message to them? Like, what do you say? What do you want to tell them? Like, is anything's possible? I mean, what do you want to tell them?
I mean, just like you said, I mean, anything is possible. Just keep working hard. Most important, just believe in yourself, follow your heart, and if you stick through it, I mean, you too can be here one day.
And I guess to wrap it up right here, what would be like one life lesson soccer or playing soccer from like 2 years old to now and everything that you had experience wise, signing up to this position right now in your life? What do you think soccer has taught you, like life lesson wise?
To enjoy the moment. A lot of people try to think about the next game or 5 years from now, but like a lot of people don't take the second to actually enjoy what they're doing and how this game can affect their lives, affect others' lives, or just in general, just like to enjoy the moment. It really is life-changing.
And Sean, any parting words before we depart from this little podcast?
Well, again, the secret's out about Dalton, Georgia. There's so much talent down here. Omar's just one of many that we feel the future of the Red Wolves can be built on. And I think Omar said it correctly. He's pursued his craft well, overcome an injury, pretty significant injury to get to this point. And it had no bearing on our desire to sign him. He plays soccer well. And, if we take everything out of that and say, what's it going to take for us to win a trophy? Then we look at players like Omar and say, we think he's going to help us win a trophy or two. And here we are.
Well done.
All right, Omar, congratulations, man. Hopefully this season's great. Sean, as well, congratulations for signing Omar, and hopefully this season goes out with a bang and you end up with a trophy.
And we don't want to forget, we want to say thank you to Birdies on Morris. If you haven't been here, please come out, support local business. Birdies on Morris out here on East Morris, Block 79.
Yes.
Right beside by D-Food Collab. You don't have to play golf. Just come out here, enjoy your time, have your friends. But, thank you for having me on the podcast again.
Anytime, man. And this has been the Stan Leone Boys. Stay tuned.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.